Mr. Staples, are we live?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Miller, I would say slide 37 to start.
To start heading down?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Staples, are we live? Oh, I'm not used to that. Somebody taught us it on YouTube. Now we're going to, it's going to be a world within a world within a world.
Well, we're doing it on slide 37. Do you want me to start going down on slide 36?
Not a problem. So I think we're live at least by 30 seconds. I'm going to propose this, that the student who has the most accurate number of times we say, "You're on mute," gets a prize.
That sounds good.
Because it's going to happen.
Make sure they're paying attention.
Make sure they're paying attention. Maybe somebody like Mr. Staples, because you're moving the slides, maybe you can count for us as well to confirm that number. But any student who comes
I'm going to type it in the chat, so they can see.
All right, don't type it in the chat.
No, don't type it in the chat.
Don't type it in the chat, because like they're supposed to come to the office and say, "This is how many times you said."
Oh, no. I was going to say in the chat, count how many times we say it. And then, but okay, I got you.
And bring your, yes.
But maybe the chat might pop up and they might see it. That's why.
No, he wanted it to. That's what he would. Oh, no. Okay. I'm so lost.
Can I make a recommendation?
Sure.
Don't have them bring it down to the office. They need to turn it into the teacher or something so we can get it from the teacher instead of having them come down to the office.
Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
And Nate, you have the updated PowerPoint, right?
I did whatever one was the most updated recent version.
Okay, awesome.
I mean, I can check.
No, it is.
All right, we got to go get started because I think that people are listening to our conversation because we are live on
We
YouTube.
are live. We have 16 people watching right now.
16 people! To those 16 people in their classrooms, welcome and good morning. This is your admin team. I am Mrs. Patricio, head of school, and we're going to talk about this State of the Union address. Mr. Staples, if you can click away. We are so excited to have you guys back. And if you see me burst into emotions of tears, it is because we literally have not had any students learning in this building since March 13th. And although I know that it's a really scary time, we are so happy to have you here. I'm a big tweeter. If you saw my tweet today, the one emotion that I do have is hopeful. I'm hopeful for us. I'm hopeful for our school. I'm hopeful for this family. And so even though Mr. Staples, did you put it on speaker view or did you put it on tile view? You're on mute.
Speaker view. It's on speaker view.
Okay. On mine it's on a tile view. So it's fine for speaker. It's funny to see your emotions and they're not seeing your emotions too, but that's okay. So on the big picture, you're going to see the admin staff here with our smiles. And actually this picture was created with us individually, but then special effects wise merged together. If you can click on the next one. Like I said, I'm Ms. Patricio, I'm head of school. Ms. Waters is your International Baccalaureate Coordinator. She is in charge of the 9th grade and 10th grade MYP program. Mr. Staples is the Academic Dean, and Ms. Miller is your amazing school counseling department of one. You know, we're in a unique situation here in this building. We have two schools in one building, Green Run High School and Green Run Collegiate. You might need to tell that to your parents because your parents might think that you are part of Green Run High School. You are not. You are part of Green Run Collegiate, but we are still one campus and one family. We have the same expectations for you. All across the board, whether you see an administrator from Green Run High School or administrator from Green Run Collegiate. So you have to be able to treat them with as much respect and as much courtesy as you would with any of the four of us. So in the next couple of slides, I'm going to show some pictures of them, or Mr. Staples will. So Mr. Tarkenton is the principal of Green Run High School. And then there are 4 assistant principals at Green Run High School. Ms. Berthold, Mr. Casamano. I'm just going to wait for Mr. There you go, Mr. Staples. Thank you. Ms. Lehner and Ms. Gilchrist. Those are the 4 APs and principal of Green Run. Now, you'll also recognize Ms. Foster. She's the school improvement specialist. She's in charge of SOL testing. And Ms. Twyman, you want to be good to Ms. Twyman because Ms. Twyman is the student activities coordinator. She's responsible for all athletics and all extracurricular activities. Any questions you have about fall sports, winter sports, return to play, she is the person that you need to see during that time. So be good to her because you never know what comes around goes around. I'm going to head it over to Ms. Waters. She's going to talk about the next couple of slides.
Good morning, boys and girls. We are so excited that you guys are here today. Like Ms. Patricio said, we haven't had students in the building since March 13th, and it has been a lonely summer and time here for us. So we are very excited that you guys are back with us. Here's our school, our clinic staff. Ms. Whiteman is our school nurse, along with her nurse assistant, Mrs. Eaton. And if your family member or yourself contacts and becomes positive for COVID, please let the school nurse know. It is very important that your family contacts them and lets them know. Or if you have any other health conditions, please contact the nurse as well with those. Go ahead, Mr. Staples. All right, additional resources, other people that you need to become familiar with in our building. The first one is Officer Brandon. He is our school resource officer, and you will see him throughout the day, as well as Paula Elkin. She is our military family life counselor. So for those of you who are military connected, you will get to know her as well. Mr. Williams, he is our access advisor. And he is somebody that when you become an 11th and 12th grader, you need to get very familiar with him because he is going to help you fill out all that paperwork for your student financial aid and for your grant money and that kind of thing, stuff for college. Mr. Collier is also our student support specialist, and he will be in and out of the building as well.
So let's talk about hallway procedures. As always, as you know, you guys have been awesome in the opening of the school. I had to not talk to anyone about keeping their masks on their faces. And so you all know that all masks need to be worn at all times in the building. The only reason why we don't have our masks right now is because we're in closed doors in our offices. But you'll see us in the hallways. We're going to wear our masks. You guys are going to wear your masks too. Thank you for wearing your masks. Masks must be worn at all times in the building. Make sure you're covering both your nose and your mouth during this time. And then if you're like me, you might want to look in the mirror and shift it sometimes. Sometimes my mask is uneven. You want to make sure it's even just for balance, for design. So students, you're going to follow the signs in the hallway to social distance. It's very much like the rules of the road. You stay on the right-hand side. So in a way, maybe you could see it as prepping for driving when you're 16, 17, 18. There are 2 exceptions to the system that we have placed here at Green Run campus. The first one is the 100 hallway. The 100 hallway, you guys might have already noticed, some of you, especially if you're in Ms. Buckles' class, woohoo, Mr. Keith's class, woohoo. I don't know if you do that in the classroom. I can't see you, but I'm gonna be doing this, woohoo. But anyway, if you're in the 100 hallway, you're gonna notice that it's one way. And the reason why it's one way is because in a typical school year, the entrance of that section, it clogs very easily. And so we had to have that section to be hallway one way. So you could see that there's a partition on the entrance. And so you have to start on the right-hand side, just like the rules of the road. So you start in where the 100, 111, 110, 109, and then you move all the way around until Mr. Keith's room in 113, and then also Senorita Durkin's room in 112. And so it can be a disadvantage if you look at it a certain way. You might be the first ones in, but maybe you're sometimes the first ones out. So always think on the positive side of that. The second exception is a roundabout in the front of the library. So the reason why we have a roundabout is because that is the second point of traffic congestion in a typical school year. So we just want to make sure that we're keeping you guys safe. We've been very purposeful and we planned this very detailed. You're going to use that roundabout to either enter through the library or enter into the math hall. The rooms that are 208, 209, 202, that area right there, that hallway across the library is the math hallway. So make sure you're walking in the right side at all times. And the last thing to note is that you see that median, and that median is there for you to cross the hallway if your room or your final place of destination is on the opposite side. So you would cross it, you would go on that median, stay there if people are passing, and then once they're finished passing, then you would cross to the other hallway. And this is just in preparation for the other grade levels, if and when they return. So I know that it seems like, oh, this is really like, it's really sparse right now. Like, why do we have these like tape lines? But the tape lines are there to make sure that we keep that systematic order of traffic flowing when all 4 grade levels are back. I do need to make you aware and keep you informed about the disciplinary consequences of not wearing a mask. And this is just for your own sake, making sure that you understand what happens if you purposely not wear a mask. So let me make sure that there's a difference. There's a difference between you forgetting a mask and you telling us that you forgot a mask. We have masks in the main office. There are some teachers that have extra masks already in their classroom. I'm looking at you, Ms. LaCroix. I know Ms. LaCroix has that with her. So there are plenty of places that if you've forgotten your mask, you can get one. This is when you just, or a person, not you, but a person just blatantly refuses to wear a mask. So when you're blatantly refusing to wear a mask, there's consequences to that. And so I want to keep you informed and you to understand what those consequences are. So the first time there's an infraction, and there's a phone call in home, you agree to wear a mask, security removes you, that's basically the intervention. That's just basically a conversation with you and your parents. The second time, it gets pretty severe, guys. I'm not gonna lie, but that's because your safety and your comfort level is at our utmost priority. So the second time you refuse to wear a mask, it is 1 day of out of school suspension. The third time you refuse, it's 2 days of out of school suspension. And then the fourth time, we're going to consider not only more days of out of school suspension, but we might even recommend expulsion as well. And when I say expulsion, not just from the school, but from the school division, you would have to go to, an alternative program. So I know that's kind of scary, but we believe in transparency here. We believe in making you informed. So these are the consequences should you make the decision of refusing to wear a mask. I believe my last slide here is about restroom and clinic procedures. So students, when you use the restroom, the teacher has to write you a hallway pass. All the teachers have these hallway passes. I believe that they are, I believe that they're green. I'm not sure which color it is, to be honest with you, but it's a paper pass that you can throw away upon return to the room. You have to use the closest restroom to the classroom. So if you're in Mr. Keith's room and then we find you near Ms. LaCroix's room all the way in the 300 hallway, we're going to question you. There's going to be a phone call home because you're not at the closest restroom. Lastly, if you ask to go to the nurse, you can't just go to the nurse, nor can your teacher write you a pass to the nurse. What teachers have been informed and instructed to do is that they have to call the nurse, and then the nurse consults with this teacher as to what are the next steps. Should you be brought to the nurse's clinic, the nurse will walk to the room and escort you there. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Staples. He's got the next couple of slides.
All right, guys. Hey, how's it going? So when you guys are going to lunch, you're going to be split between 2 lunches. So we have a G lunch and an R lunch. During this time, you're going to be walked down by your teacher. You're going to be asked to sit at the tables, right? We already have certain places marked off. So you'll sit there, allowing yourselves to be separated and socially distanced from other people so that we can eat and not have to worry about, transferring the viruses or anything like that to one another. We can still be able to do that and remain safe. You're going to stay in your seats until you're done eating, right? Then you're going to be dismissed and allowed to throw away your trays by one of the adults that are in the cafeteria. They will give you permission when it's time to do that. If you have to get up and go to the bathroom, just make sure you raise your hand and we'll be able to help you out as soon as we see you. All right. Towards the end of the lunch period, trash cans are going to be put in the middle of the cafeteria. And like I said, once you get permission from the adults there, you'll be able to go and throw your trays away. One quick point of reference, please make sure you do not throw away your mask. I don't know why I keep seeing this happening. So after you grab all your lunch together and you put it in a little bag and you get ready to throw it away, make sure you do not have your bag in that lumped up stuff of trash. All right. So just keep that in mind. And these are your lunch times. So G lunch is going to run from 10:15 to 10:55. Our lunch is going to run from 11:55 to 12:35. And if you have these teachers that are listed here, those are going to correspond with the lunches. All right. So those are going to be our classes that go to lunch during those times. We've made sure that there's only a certain number of people in there so we can properly social distance and you guys can eat in safety. I'm going to pass it on to Miss Miller.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. It was so exciting seeing faces in the hallways. This is what it's supposed to feel like when we're here at work. We've missed you guys. We've missed having students with us. So our schedule, this is the same schedule that we have been running since the end of September as the division began returning students face-to-face to campuses. So of course, first block starts at 7:20. At 7:15, a warning bell will ring, letting you know that you have 5 minutes, and then the music plays. You heard the music this morning, and then you get the little kind of countdown as with a minute or 2 minutes left. Mondays on our schedule will continue to be asynchronous learning days. So you will be offline while your teachers are, receiving professional development, but office hours will be available, remediation and tutoring. As we go through Tuesday through Friday, again, starting, you should be in your classroom by 7:20. Each one of the blocks is approximately 90 minutes in length, with the exception of our GRC Way Too Long third block. And that name was created by our student voice. And the block 3 is longer because of the fact that advisory happens during block 3 as well as lunch. So that's why that block has been extended. And then of course, for right now, for transportation purposes, school will be ending at 2:00. So the key to success, the key to academic success is to be in class on time every day. But we know there are some times that things happen and for whatever reason you are late to class. If you are in the hall when the bell rings, you realize that you're going to be tardy, you need to go to one of the 2 tardy stations. There will be one at the front desk and one by the library entrance where the round table or the roundabout in our traffic pattern. If you are late to class, you need to go to a tardy station to get a pass because you will not be admitted to your classroom without one. Again, if an adult sees you in the hall without a pass, you will be walked to the class that you just left or to the tardy station so that we can account for your whereabouts. If for some reason your bus arrives late to campus, we know that there are times with traffic and other issues. If your bus arrives late to campus, you will be given a pass to excuse you into class, and you also will have time to stop and pick up breakfast from the cafeteria before you head to class. Hopefully you all saw the 3 breakfast stations, or you passed at least one of the breakfast stations on your way in to your first class this morning. Those are grab and go stations, so please feel free to pick up breakfast on your way to class. It's important for you to understand that an absence is not just a full day. We know that missing an entire day of class constitutes an absence, and we would ask you to bring in a note for that and then work with your teacher to get your makeup work. But you also need to know that if you miss more than 15 minutes of a class, that is also an absence. So we don't want you out in the hallways, hanging out, goofing around. You need to get to class and get to class on time so that you're not marked absent. And again, if you are out, we know those things occur as well. Please make sure that you bring a note excusing your absence. You can drop it off at the main office, or you can give it to one of your teachers who will then make sure that we get it in the office. And now I'm going to turn it over back to Mrs. Patricio.
This is one of my favorite parts of this presentation. I have the same image right here because I haven't posted it on my wall yet, but this is our philosophy and this is our mission. So you're going to hear your teachers and your upperclassmen talk about the GRC Way. And if you look at this, which was designed by Ms. LaCroix, by the way, it's beautiful. She worked on it all summer in terms of the little details to make it purposeful and meaningful and make this vision come to life. And so right now as ninth graders, you might think the GRC Way is hokey, you know, like we've already had, like, we've done this in middle school. We know we've done this in elementary school. My elementary school children have their SOAR at Indian Lakes, but this really is a philosophy and way of life. And we really believe in all of the components and pieces here. So through support, grace and humility, intentional, innovative practices, the GRC Way fosters diverse learners who embrace the process, champion a growth mindset, and persevere through challenges in pursuit of lifelong learning. You guys, like, we live this. And it's taken about 4 years because we really created it about 4 years ago. And in that first year, students did think that it was hokey and that we didn't follow through with it. And it was just a phrase. But you're going to see through your experiences here, if you haven't done so already, that the experiences that you have here in the classroom, the interactions that you will have with us and teachers, we all live the GRC Way. We all are in the constant pursuit of lifelong learning. And lifelong learning means to embrace that process, champion a growth mindset, and persevere through challenges. When you look at that diverse learners, there are specific traits that the GRC Way student embodies. And I can talk about it, but what better way to really explain it than one of our students themselves. And so I have a video from class of 2022 student, Drea Faircloth. Mr. Staples, if you can move to the next slide. Oh, okay. Why don't you move? I'm sorry, I moved it last minute. If you can go to slide, I guess it was 33. I'm sorry, that was the last minute stuff by myself. There, stop right there. If you can go ahead and play that. That's what happens when you make last minute changes.
My name is Andrea. I'm an 11th grade student at Grand Run Collegiate, and I'm here to talk to you about the GRC Way. So we've all heard about the golden rule to treat others how you want to be treated. What the GRC Way has done is taken this broad statement and really broken it down to 5 key points that we feel like you should live within, not even your everyday school life, but also just within life in general. So we have integrity, open-mindedness, encouragement, respect, and inclusion. Now, I say these 5 words and they might not have any meaning to you. So let's just break them down and really go through what it means. To have integrity is to be honest with moral and ethical principles that you use to basically drive your every decision within every situation. You want to always approach the scene with integrity. And to have open-mindedness, you want to set aside your own thoughts and be willing to approach or be approached in an understanding and non-judgmental mindset. Encouragement. This means to uplift others and to support them no matter what and through every respect. This means to acknowledge and have regard for a person's status, feeling entitled. Inclusion. This means to invite everyone no matter what their characteristics may be. Nationality, race, gender, disability. You always want to invite everyone and make them feel like they're welcomed at the table. This is our GRC Way, and thank you for listening.
I had to turn off my screen because I wanted to make sure that you guys focused on the video as opposed to myself. So that was Drea Faircloth. When she comes back to the building, I don't mind introducing you all to her at all. Just let us know. She's an amazing student who really captured the essence of all 5 of the values and traits. So Mr. Staples, if you can move to slide 17, and I apologize for making that boo-boo. All right. So the next couple of slides that we're going to introduce to you are going to be rules and behaviors that we expect from you guys. And the reason why I wanted to tie in the GRC way to those rules is because we expect a lot from all of us. Like, I expect a lot of myself. Your teachers expect a lot of you. Our administrators expect a lot of each other and expect a lot of you. You are in an environment where there is high expectations. High expectations are the norm. And the reason why high expectations are the norm is because we believe that you can do it. And we want you to believe that you can do it as well. I love this quote because it says, everything we say today and every day comes from a place of love with all its forms. Love doesn't mean that things are easy. Love also doesn't mean that it's only about compliments. Love means being honest and being truthful and being consistent and being able to still uphold those expectations because we love you. We're not going to compromise our expectations of you because then that means that we don't believe in you. We have these expectations because we believe that you can do this. We know you can do this. And we have seen other students that have come past these halls of other people that have inherited from do the same thing. And so the next couple of slides, yes, are going to be guidelines, but I need you to understand that they all come from a place of love. And like family, like the family that you have in your homes when you leave us, we have these expectations from you to be authentic and to be honest to you. That's our expectations that we have for each other, and we have that for you as well. So with that said, I think the next person is going to be Ms. Miller.
Thank you. One thing that certainly the pandemic has done is forced us more into a virtual world. And so a lot of us have been spending even more time on social media than previously. But we want to make sure that you think. You need to think before you click, before you post, because it matters. You are being reminded today that social media should be used in a constructive manner with professionalism and respect. Sometimes people, just believe that because they're behind that screen, they feel like that anonymity and that distance from the person, it gives them courage to post things that they wouldn't say to the person. So we want you to stop and think before you post. And if you do delete something, remember that just because you deleted it doesn't mean that it's gone. We know in this day and age of screenshots that posts tend to live on. The screenshots in the cloud, things are still out there. Once you put it out there, it is not necessarily removed from your digital footprint just because you deleted it and you can't see it. If when you are on social media and interacting with your classmates and other members of our community, our family, if you see something that is concerning to you, please make sure that you report it. If you see something, say something. You can come to an administrator, a trusted adult, one of your teachers, maybe a parent, or even me in the counseling office, but let us know of your concern so that we can support you and whatever student has posted something. And I think next, is it Ms. Waters? Nope, sorry, Mr. Staples.
All right, guys. So talking about school safety, all right, we want to make sure during these times we're putting safety first. So we want to make sure we're doing things to protect yourself and others. So like Ms. Miller said, if you see something, say something. We are not going to prop open doors. So if you see someone coming up from the outside, it might be a buddy, might be a friend or somebody you know, but they still need to follow the correct protocol and go through the proper doors. All right. So do not open doors for people. Redirect them to the main entrance. If you hear a fire alarm or you hear an announcement that says we're going into lockdown, we need you guys to take those seriously. All right. It will not be announced if it's practice or if it's just a walkthrough. So you don't really know what's going on. If you hear it, we need you to act as if it's the real thing and follow the correct protocols. Cool. All right. Also going along with school safety, You're going to make sure that you're wearing a mask in public, social distance from one another. So if you're in the classroom and you have mask on, that's 3 feet. If you're in a situation where you have to take your mask off, like when we're eating lunch, we're going to make sure we're about 6 feet from one another. Those are the proper guidelines with that. You're not going to give out your class Zoom links. All right. We want to make sure we're not inviting random people into the classrooms. Okay. And you're going to always conduct yourself professionally when online and or in person. All right.
So dress for success, guys. Now that you're face to face, there is going to be a little bit more borders or guidelines to wearing certain items in school. So as always, you want to dress appropriately, full shirts, pants worn appropriately. No pants, like ideally the pants are above the waist or at the waist. Make sure you have ladies, make sure you have wide shoulder straps. And you see these 2 fingers here, your straps need to be no smaller than those 2 fingers, your index and your middle finger. Appropriate length of shorts and skirts. Basically, ladies, before you go to school, make sure, I've got a skirt right here. Hopefully you can still hear me. I don't know if you can see me. I'm going to lower this down. Can I? Okay, there you go. So then make sure that like when you have your skirt, you put your hands right here. Make sure that it is no shorter than the longest finger on your hands. That's the test that you need to conduct every time before you leave the house. Shorts and pants should be worn even on Zoom. Yes, I had to go there. Yes, something happened about that. I will not reveal the details. And of course, no hats, no hoods, no sunglasses, and no bandanas. For myself, I always think about, I don't want to reveal any of the 3 Bs. And if you follow that rule, 3 Bs, and I'm just going to take one booty, and then you can figure out what the other Bs are. And if you don't know, we'll have a private conversation about it. That's what you want to make sure not to expose. Your booty, your belly, and then you can figure out the last B. All right, so then Ms. Waters, I think the next slide is yours.
And we're going to talk about cell phones and more, guys. Cell phones is a big thing in schools. We allow you to have cell phones, but they have to be used respectfully. Your cell phones and earbuds, they must be powered off and put away during instructional time. When you are in the classroom, you are in there to hear what the teacher's teaching you. You are there to learn. So those things need to be shut down and put away because those are a distraction. Your technology can be used if the teacher instructs you to use it. So if you're using it for an activity and your teacher says, yes, it's okay, then you may use your devices during that time. If you are using your device, if you're checking your messages in the hallway between classes, that's okay, but you may only have one earbud in at a time. And that is for security reasons. So if you have one earbud in, you're still able to hear if there's an alarm, if there's an adult trying to talk to you, if something is happening, you're still able to hear what is going on outside of what's happening on your device. So make sure that if you have that out during your class changes, that you are only wearing one earbud. Headphones that cover both of your ears, like the Beats, those things are prohibited. You cannot have those on because those keep the sound that's on the outside out, so you cannot hear what is going on. So those types of earphones are prohibited in school. Bluetooth speakers in the green zones are prohibited. So the green zones is like the hallway and like the cafeteria. You cannot have those Bluetooth speakers on and playing at any time during the school day. Those are not allowed in school. So just to make sure that you guys are aware of that.
Ms. Waters, I'm just going to interrupt you. I hate Bluetooth speakers and I will take them from you. So don't even try it. Don't try it.
All right, Mr. Staples, next slide. So if you have your cell phone out when you're not supposed to, or if you're wearing both earbuds when you're not supposed to, the first offense, you will have a verbal warning. The second offense, the teacher may confiscate your phone and turn it into the main office. If that happens, you will be able to pick it up in the office at the end of the day on your way out to the buses. If there's a third offense and the teacher confiscates your phone or an administrator confiscates your phone and it's turned into the main office, then your parent has to come and pick it up. You cannot pick it up at the end of the day. Your parent has to come in and get it. If you are a repeat offender and you continue to have this out and break the rules on technology, then you will face disciplinary action. And because that is then considered defiance. It's not that you're, oops, I forgot. It's not that anymore. It's that you're continuing to do it after you've been told 3 other times. So then it is defiance and insubordination, and there will be disciplinary actions to follow that. So please, you know, we respect the fact that you guys have these phones and that it's important that you check your messages and you want to listen to your music. We respect that. So just respect the boundaries that have been put in place for using those devices. Zero tolerance. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but Green Run Campus, which includes Green Run High School and Green Run Collegiate, we are a zero tolerance campus. So before, when you were in middle school, if you were to get in a fight with or an altercation with somebody, you would go through the process. You would have, you know, maybe 3 days of OSS, maybe 5 days of OSS, and it would accumulate in that direction. However, here at GRC, if you get in an altercation and a fight, that is immediate recommendation to the Office of Student Leadership for expulsion, which means you will no longer be on Green Run campus. So it's very important that you think about that. There are other ways to resolve issues. And as high school students, it's time to start taking advantage of those other resources that will help you work through these differences. Fighting is not the answer. And if that's what you choose as your answer, you are choosing not to be at this school. Academic honesty. This is huge, guys. This is, you guys are now, you know, you're in an IB school, you are in a rigorous program. We're trying to get you prepared for not only so that you can finish out and graduate high school, but we're trying to prepare you for college, and we're trying to prepare you for adulthood, what life is going to be like after college. So it's very important that you understand that these rules are set in place for a reason. Academic honesty is a huge one here at GRC, and we take it very seriously. So when we think about cheating, that leads to disciplinary action. When you think about, do I need a citation? That's a big question. If you are doing a paper and you are using a resource off of the internet or some other resource, you have to give that resource credit because you are not the one that developed that information. You got it from another resource, and that resource deserves credit for that work. So you have to cite your sources. You have to give them credit. If you do not, that is considered plagiarism, which is another word for cheating. And plagiarism does require disciplinary action from us, and it could lead all the way up to expulsion. And when you are in college, you have to understand that if you plagiarize something, they will remove you and expel you from that campus. So it's very important now that we learn how to cite our sources, and we take that seriously. All right, integrity builds character. If you remember in the video, our student, she talked about integrity. What does it mean to have integrity? Integrity means that you're doing the right thing, even when nobody else is looking. And it's hard for ninth graders in the ninth grade because, you know, they want to find their fit. They want to find where they belong. And sometimes we will, not use that integrity because we're too busy finding out about where we fit and where we belong. So we do things that we wouldn't normally do, or we do things that we know are not the right thing to do just to fit in. But here at GRC, we really expect you guys to be yourselves, be who you are, hold that integrity. Because at the end of the day, your integrity is all you have. That is your character. How do people see you? Do they know you? Do they trust you that you're going to do the right thing regardless of what situation you're placed in? So choose integrity over comfort. And I'm going to give that over to Mr. Staples.
All right, guys. So if you find yourself in need of academic support, we have a tool called Scholar Central. All right. Scholar Central is pretty much where you can go and get some tutoring. You can get some extra help for some teachers to help you with your classes. And we hold those on a couple times during the week. So as of right now, this is all being done virtually. All right. If you follow us on our social medias, you'll see a flyer that's going out, has a QR code for you guys to scan, and it'll take you to that Zoom room. All right. That Zoom room for Scholar Central is going to be open on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 4:30. Every time you go in there, you will have someone that can help you with math and science, or you can have somebody that'll help you with your literacy work. So if you need help in English or social studies or something like that. All right. And we also have it on Saturdays from 9:30 in the morning to 11 in the morning. All right. So if you log into that Zoom at any of those times, you can get whatever academic support you need. Keep in mind, on Saturdays, we're following a rotation. So on the first Saturday of the month, you will have English and a social studies teacher in there. On the next Saturday, you'll have a math and science person, and then we'll follow that same rotation each weekend throughout the month. All right. So Wednesday and Thursday, Saturdays, follow those times. You can get any help you need.
So reasons to see your school counselor, that would be me. If you are having problems at home, personal problems at home, maybe with friends, those types of issues, that's something certainly that I can help you with. If you're concerned about your grades, we know that the first grading window closed yesterday. So you've received report card grades. Maybe you're concerned, you feel like you're not doing as well as you would like to. Maybe it's causing some stress with the rigor and the amount of work. Maybe you're struggling to manage your time. I can help you with all of those things. Certainly, I'm here to talk with you about planning for your future, whether that be college, a career, the military, scholarships as you get closer to graduating. Again, if you're having issues with another student, as Ms. Waters said, Green Run campus is a zero tolerance for fighting campus. So if you are in conflict with someone and you don't want to get into a fight because you want to stay with us, I can help you with regards to mediating the situation, giving both parties the opportunity to speak so that we can resolve whatever's going on. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I just need somebody to listen. I just need somebody to sit there and say, I understand, I hear you, that's a lot, you're doing a good job handling everything that's going on. And that's something that I can do for you as well. However, because we are trying to limit movement throughout the building, the open door policy that we've had in the past and that you're probably used to from middle school, we're having to make some changes. So just like if you need to go to the clinic, if you would like to come down and talk with me, please let your teachers know. They will then contact the counseling office so that we can see, what's going on. It might be easier for me to come to you instead of you coming down here. But so please let your teacher know, and then they will contact us and we will go from there. And
Mr. Staples, I'll tell you to click on certain things because I've got pictures coming in from left and right and from top and bottom in the next couple of slides. So, I talked about the first half of, this presentation about why do we do this? We do this because we love you and we have expectations of you, and we have high expectations of each other. I have high expectations of myself. I have high expectations for you. And I hope that you have high expectations for you. So that's the first part of why we do this and why these rules. The second part of this is, guys, you are inheriting an incredible legacy of the graduating classes before you. And when I say that, I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to explain why with data. Mr. Staples, if you can put the first slide up, click first. The first thing I want to explain to you guys is that in an international baccalaureate school, you are taking what is considered by the school division as advanced courses. And if you look at the percentages of the division of students in underrepresented groups that are taking advanced classes versus the kids in this school taking advanced courses, that's amazing. because I know, because I felt it, everybody's felt it in one time or another, where people didn't expect a lot from you at one time or another. And what this says, this data shows, is that we expect a lot of our students because we believe in them. That is the legacy you are inheriting. You are inheriting this high expectation that you can do the work that we are providing you. And I want to point a couple of things out, that in the school division, 42.1% of African Americans are taking rigorous, challenging courses. But in this school, 86% of students are. In the division, all students, 59.9% of students are taking challenging, rigorous courses. But in this school, 89.2% are. And that was from data from 2 years ago. It will say 100% because of the certain movements that we've made for the junior and senior year. That is the legacy you are inheriting in terms of the expectations that are expected from you. And I know that it may feel burdensome and it might feel like a weight right now, but I'm going to show you what it also can do for you in the long run. Mr. Staples, if you do the next one. The legacy that you've also inherited is the accreditation status. And when I say the accreditation status, if you look at all of those green rows, it means that this school has hit level 1, the highest achievement level in all of these sections. In academic achievement, level 1, at or above standards. Guys, we have had 100% writing and reading for the past 2 or 3 years. Highest level in math, highest level in science, lowest level in chronic absenteeism, highest level in graduation, lowest level in dropout rate. This is the legacy you are inheriting. And this is from your descendants, your previous graduating classes, and the work that, hey, they have done in order to set you up for success. Keep on going. When you look at this data and you look at what those rigorous, challenging courses can offer you, you can see in this data, the match comparison group, groups that are similar to our population in this school, that when students of this certain population, it tends to be 58.5% of students plan for a 4-year college, or 60% actually enroll in college. And there's a significant change or significant increase when you think about GRC students who have graduated from here. 69.1 compared to 58.5% plan for a 4-year college. And then 69.1% are actually enrolled in college as opposed to 60%. And those are students that are in other schools that are similar to our population. The next one. This data is the most powerful, and this is the one that affects me the most as your head of school, your principal. That when you look at other students that are of the same population as us in the match comparison group, you're going to see that 77.5% of those students actually come back to college in the second year. We have a significant jump in comparison to that. 89.3% of our students who start college in the first year come back in the second year. And when you think of the reality of colleges, that 50% of students that enter college actually graduate, that is a big difference. And this is what we have at Green Run Collegiate have to offer you. We have that opportunity to offer you that 4-year college graduation, to be successful in that 4-year college graduation, and to open doors for your families that may have not been open before. This is the GRC way. And I know when you look at those numbers, it may look easy. There might be people that say, oh, you're a small school. You've got low teacher to student ratio. We have these accolades. We've earned the Virginia Index Performance Award. We are the only high school in Virginia Beach that have achieved the highest achievement exemplar award. And you could see that picture of me like during last year's school board presentation of that thing. And I wish that Mr. Burnsworth didn't do that. That's my boss, but you know, that's what happens when you get awards. You have to be presented and take weird pictures. The point is that it looks easy to people, but we know that, Mr. Staples, go ahead, and you're ruining my timing right now. I needed you to click. We know it looks easy, even though it's not. It's not easy, guys. And we never say it's going to be easy. But we are going to say that we still will do it together. We will make it through together. And this is our most current graduation data. And if you look at it, all that first, second, third row where it says graduated, guys, the only number in there is 100%. 100%. Last year, all of our students graduated, no matter who they were, what they look like, where they came from. And that's important to us. That is the GRC way. That is your legacy. And that's what you're inheriting from all the students that came before you.
So why do this? Why do we have all of these rules? Ms. Patricio has talked about how hard it is. And it is hard. We're not ever going to tell you that it's not hard, but we care for you. We want to learn with you, and we do love you. Our passion, the administrators, the teachers, everybody that works in our school, the passion that we have for student success drives us. And we know that it's not easy. We know that the work is hard. And you look at the rules that we've put out. We talk about the cell phone policy, and, we talk about the zero tolerance fighting and the dress code and all that. And guys, this is not just about high school. It's not just about getting you through high school. It's not what it's about. All of those things teach you how to become productive citizens for your future, because we are preparing you for your future, not just preparing you to graduate high school and be done with you. That's not what GRC is about. That is not the GRC way. The GRC way is to get you to understand what it's going to be like for you when you're an adult. These things, following rules, having expectations set, meeting deadlines, you need those things when you become an adult. And we are trying to prepare you for the world, because you guys are the future. You are our future generation. And the thing that is so important, and I say sometimes that I may be selfish when I say this, but what we teach you guys now that you're going to implement in your future, you are the future generation that's going to make decisions for this country, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, whether you own your own business, whatever it is you choose to do as an adult, you will have to make decisions that will impact our country, our community, everything. You guys are going to be the ones making those decisions. And right now, I have 3 grandbabies. And those decisions that you make as adults is going to have an impact on my grandbabies. So I know that may sound a little selfish, but we are trying to prepare you guys for the future. And every rule we put into place, there is a reason behind it. There is purpose behind it. So I just want you guys to know that, we do care about you. We care about your future and what you're going to do. And we know that you guys are capable of anything we put in front of you. You are capable. And you need to understand that, because we believe in you. We have faith in you. Now we have to get you to believe in yourselves. Next slide. So the next slide is talking about the GRC way. Okay, the GRC way is to commit. Go ahead, Mr. Staples, the next one. 5 commitments of a great team. Commit to giving 100%. Always give your 100%, the best you can. Commit to getting better. You know what? Today was a great day, but I want to see what I can do tomorrow to get better. Maybe you didn't get a good grade on an assignment. Don't get upset about that, because it's about making you better. We want to be better tomorrow than we were today. So go to your teacher and say, hey, I got an 89 on this test. What can I do next time to make it better? Get that feedback so you can make it better. Stay positive. Commit to being positive. It's going to be difficult, but remember, we know you can do it. We are here to support you and help you through it. Commit to the mission. Ms. Patricio shares with you our GRC Way mission. It's our vision. It's what we have for you guys. And it's going to be all over the school. So you're going to be able to be reminded of that and commit to each other. Because team, we believe in family environment. We believe in being a team. We have to support each other, because when you support each other, then everybody can be successful and we can all help each other. You may be really good at math. Somebody else may be really good at English. You help each other with those things. Go ahead to the next one. So the GRC way is to commit, be open-minded. These are the 3 things that we always tell our students that we need them to be when they come here. First of all, be open-minded. Be willing to accept new things. Be willing to listen and accept other viewpoints. It doesn't mean you always have to agree with it. Be open-minded to hear what other people are saying. Be yourself. Don't try to be somebody that you're not to fit in somewhere. Be yourself. Be who you are. It's so much easier when you be yourself, and trust the process. And guys, life is a process, and being here at GRC is a process. You are coming in. A lot of you, some of you have never had an advanced class before. You're coming in and we're telling you that we believe in you and you can do this. You have to trust the process, because that's what it is. Freshman year is difficult. We're going to get you over that hurdle. We're going to teach you some new skills, some things that you're going to have to be able to do for your future classes. But if you be open-minded and you trust that process and you work with your teachers, you will be successful, but you have to trust the process. Next one, Mr. Staples.
So Mr. Staples, if you can put the view as a gallery view, I know that it's a speaker view right now. If you can put it as I think gallery is probably best for what our next thing is. So guys, we asked our 9th grade teachers to give us 2 students, because the GRC way, every month we do a student of the month. And September is kind of weird because, this whole year is weird, this whole time is weird. But our teachers selected 2 students for student of the month based on the value of, and Mr. Staples, if you can pop up the first box only.
Good morning.
It's inclusion.
I'm on location.
You can see Miss Miller's walking around the hallways because one of
I'm
our
on
students,
location.
That's right. You're okay. She's on location. She keeps on talking about how she's on location. Okay, you're on location. So our inclusion, what it means to be inclusive. We have one student here in this building today that represents all of these traits. This student works together to create new opportunities and break social barriers. This student accepts people's differences. She puts themselves in other people's shoes and she meets them where they are. So I'm going to have Ms. Miller take it away because she's on location, walking to that student's room right now to present the hoodie that only students, the GRC Way Students of the Month get, as well as a wonderful certificate. So Ms. Miller, take it away.
Just a little fact about me. I really wanted to be a reporter when I was in college. So I didn't get that opportunity, went in a different way. So this is great today because I'm out here on location. I've just arrived at the classroom. Maybe I didn't. Oh yes, I'm at the right classroom now. And she meets them where they are. So I'm going to have Ms. Miller take it away.
Mr. Staples, if you can click on that other person.
I'm here. Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Brianna, for being Student of the Month. Woohoo! I'm going to let Ms. Miller take it away.
So congratulations, Bree. This is interesting for me with the feedback. I'm in the room, so there's a delay. So now I'm getting caught up. So congratulations, Brianna Butts. You are our first Student of the Month, GRC Way. Can we get some applause for your classmate? Yay! So Bria's been given a certificate. And this hoodie, you want to hold that hoodie up so everybody can see? Yes, yes, yes. Turn it this way to me, Bree. All right, this is the hoodie.
Ms.
that
Miller,
you can only earn.
we can't see it because you're in the other, you have to turn your camera around. We can't see it.
See, this is why I can't go on location. Is it working now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Okay, so this is the hoodie that you cannot buy. The only way that you get this GRC I Be Living sweatshirt is by being selected Student of the Month. So you are the very first freshman with the very first I Be Living the GRC Way sweatshirt. Congratulations for being so inclusive. All right, thank you. Ms. Miller signing off from location.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. So what's next? For the month of October, the trait is communicator. And so what does it mean to be a communicator? It means accepting other people's differences, putting them in other people's shoes and meeting people where they are. I don't know why the monthly assembly is there. I'm super sorry. I should have taken that out. So just don't consider that. But for communicator, it is about accepting other people's differences, putting them in other people's shoes and meeting them where they are. Make sure you nominate somebody today. Use that QR code that's on the last slide. Mr. Staples, if you can just slide that over. This is the QR code. If your teacher allows you to, go ahead and scan it so you have the Google form. So then you nominate somebody for a communicator, whether it be students or teachers. Please submit your nomination by October 23rd. We're also going to include the link on our Instagram account as well as our Twitter account. You'll probably see it in some of your Schoology courses. So if you guys have any questions, please email us or DM us. Ms. Miller, myself, Ms. Waters has an Instagram account. All four of us have Twitter accounts that you can direct message for us. And on behalf of Green Run Collegiate, we're going to sign off now. Please wait until 8:35 because I believe Mr. Tarkenton is going to send a welcome announcement for the entire campus, as well as the Pledge of Allegiance. We look forward to being with you during this time. We're going to make it through this difficult time together, and we look forward to seeing you in the hallways, in the classrooms, and letting you feel as part of our GRC family, because you are part of this family now. Welcome. Signing off.